Yo, what's up, guys? We're back again for the Tough 27 predictions. And this is going to be coming up this Friday on International Fight Week, right before UFC 226. And it's going to be headlined by Israel Adesanya against Brad Tavares. And, it's a pretty good card. I was actually surprised watching the tape. I found it to be, pretty entertaining, some pretty good matchups. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the full card. I'm not sure if there's going to be fights added. To be honest, I haven't watched Tough at all this year, so not really in the loop with that. But just going to go over what they have so far on the card. And for the first fight is Gunther against Zuniga. And, in my opinion, this wasn't the most high-level fight. This is probably the worst fight on the card. And, they're both lost to Joe Giannotti via submission on the Tough show. They're both coming off the most recent Tough show. And, Gunther immediately went in for a double, got caught in a guillotine, and got choked out in less than 15 seconds. Zuniga was finished late in round one. He at least showed a little bit more, but both guys kind of lost early. Gunther trained at a strong style gym in Cleveland with Stipe Miocic. I think that's kind of how he got another chance to get on the card here. And, he's really just purely a grinder, virtually no striking. He'll throw a lot of leg kicks, eventually close the distance, get the body lock or the double leg, take you down, grind you out. He'll look for the back, try for a rear naked choke. He does have a great chin, great cardio. I've seen him in other fights getting battered on the feet, dropped and dominated in round one. And still be able to come back, melt guys with his pressure in wrestling. He'll throw a very sloppy wide right hook with little power. On the feet, he's a punching bag and really needs to improve everything about his striking to be successful in the UFC. And for Zuniga, he's much more experienced. He's 13-0 before joining the show. He has a win over UFC veteran Marcin Bandel, but really he's been fighting in Cuba a lot and Costa Rica. I'm sorry, he's been fighting in Costa Rica a lot, and that's not the most high level local scene, so he's not fighting the most high-level fighters there, but he's a short, compact fighter, likes to try to get inside, throw hooks to the head and the body, very heavy leg kicks. He has some okay power in his hands. He can hurt you to the head and to the body. He has some good finishing instincts. He can struggle at times to get inside on the feet, so he'll crash the distance, get a body lock, try to take you down, land some nice knees and elbows. But he isn't the greatest grappler, has poor takedown defense. He isn't an explosive guy and is a bit slow, just like Gunther is. Both these guys are pretty low-level athletes. Off of his back, he's okay at getting up, but he isn't dangerous. Not sure he could stand back up against Gunther, to be honest. I think Gunther would actually keep him down. I'm actually going to go with Gunther here by decision. I do see him getting dominated on the feet, but I don't know if, Zuniga has enough to hurt him. And I think he's going to be the one that gets stronger as the fight goes on. I think he's going to be able to start taking him down and win a pretty, sloppy, boring, just grindy decision there. And, I don't think either of these guys are going to have any sustained success in the UFC. But whoever gets a win here, it's an accomplishment. It's a UFC win. And both these guys are going to get to go fight in that cage. So it's a good experience for both guys. And up next, you have Pena against Richie Smullen. Pretty good fight. I was actually pretty entertained by Violent Bob Ross's tape. Pena, he's pretty fun to watch. Only fought 4 fights. He's 4-0. Fought once on the house as well, so 5-0, I guess, if you count the fight on the house. While Richie Smullen's only 3-0-1 as well. And it's going to be a clash of styles here. Pena's more smooth, long-range striker with boxing skills, while Smullen is solely looking to find his moment, drag the fight to the mat. They're both coming off the Tough show, like I said, and they both had their time cut short without losing. Richie Smullen was never able to fight, while Pena won his first bout before getting injured, not being able to continue in the competition. And Pena's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He's a slick striker, high school wrestling champion, good double leg, very difficult to hold down, good in the scrambles. Very tall and big and long for the division at 155, 6'3". Uses a nice jab, straight right hand. Extremely calm and cool in the cage. Never overexerts himself, and due to that, he has insane cardio. Really good cardio. He's also extremely balanced. Really gets out of position in the cage with his feet. He has fast hand speed. He'll change his target to the head and the body. He'll throw a nice right hook. He has good front kicks to the body. He'll throw the front kick to the face. Nice flying knees. He likes to walk forward, back you against the cage, start to unload. He'll throw nice knees to the body, short elbows. He has solid defense on the feet, does a good job leaning back, getting just out of range of your shot, staying in range for his counter. He gets away with leaning back with his chin high because how tall he is. But against a very explosive guy or someone with a long reach, that could get exploited. But definitely not going to get exploited here in this matchup against Ricky Smullen, in my opinion. And he has a solid head movement, good chin overall. Doesn't seem affected even when he gets hit with big shots, still walks you down. He will go for the double leg against the cage if he sees it. Has a decent top game. He'll try to get the back, get the rear naked choke. Very good takedown defense. Is awesome at creating scrambles, usually winning the scrambles. Does a good job hitting the standing switch, taking your back. Just does not accept being put on the bottom on the floor. He has been doing some jiu-jitsu tournaments, working on his grappling, so he's pretty solid on the ground. He has amazing cardio, just melts people in his fights. He will maybe get controlled against the cage or even take it down in the first round, but he gets stronger as you slowly fade, and that's real finish you either with strikes or even on the ground. He's a good prospect and could do big things. Richie Smullen isn't a bad prospect either. He's fighting out of SBG Ireland with John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor, and those guys. But he isn't a striker, he's a grappler. He isn't a very confident striker, especially with his hands in the pocket. Likes to circle a lot, throw kicks, leg kicks, body kicks. Just try to find his moment to crash the distance, get the body lock before dragging you to the ground. Doesn't have great entries, and against better strikers can get caught crashing the distance and hurt, in my opinion. He has good body locks when he does get a hold of you. Does a good job getting you down, improving position on the ground. He will work for dominant position, has good passing ability. He likes to get side control, land knees to the body and elbows. Has solid ground and pound, but nothing overwhelming. He does have good jiu-jitsu, but I did see him in his last fight against Reese McKee. He was put in a tight triangle, got an armbar put on him. He did get out. I thought he lost that fight, but he was given a draw there. He does have a good leg lock, really goes for it, really will dive on it, but I'm not too worried about that. In this fight, Pena is extremely flexible, stays cool and calm in those situations, knows how to get out as well. I've seen him finish fights with leg locks and also be put in leg locks. Stay very calm and just work his way out. Smullen seems to get very tired after grappling exchanges. If you can get back up and is a sitting duck to take punishment, he'll start to get very wide with the right hook, go for desperation takedowns. He's been able to bail himself out so far in his fights, get the takedowns to rest. But if he doesn't, I think he'll get finished on the feet. Pena has great takedown defense and melts people. I think he'll know he has this huge striking advantage here and keep it standing. He'll wear out Smullen in round 1. And then I think he's going to finish him in round 2 via TKO. I'm pretty confident in that pick. I'm going with Luis Pena by TKO in round 2 in that one. And up next, we have a pretty fun fight. The return of Martin Bravo. Only 24 years old, still has a lot of promise. And, he hasn't fought nearly a year. He did get knocked out pretty badly in his last fight. And, he won Tough Latin America Season 3. He's a solid, well-rounded style. Prototypical Mexican fighter, likes to box, keep heavy volume, heavy pressure on his opponents. Does a good job of landing his jab, nice right hand. He'll throw to the body with punches as well. Does a great job staying in your face, cutting off the cage, jamming your shots, not letting you have space to work. And that's a big thing here that he has to do against Alex Caceres. He'll throw nice wide hooks in the pocket, catch people with good power. He has hard leg kicks. He'll work for nice body locks, nice double legs. And nice back take. He'll try to get the rear naked choke. Mixes it up well, and I think he's overall a good prospect. He's only 24 years old. He has good chin, great cardio. Likes to try to goad you into a war late in rounds, throw down and try to win the round. He gets knocked out. He got knocked out bad in his last fight by a head kick. But he's taken the right amount of time off, in my opinion. He should be ready to go. He's taken off 11 months. This is a good matchup for Bravo. He's going to want to stay in Caceres' face, not give him space to work, even get some takedowns against the cage if he can. And Bruce Leroy is a long-time staple in the UFC. He's fought 18 times in the company. He's known for his flashy striking style, throws a lot of spinning kicks to the body, spinning kicks to the head, double punches, spinning elbows. Just overall very tricky striker, a very good solid athlete. On the outside he has solid lateral movement, good head movement, pretty hard to hit, he's fast. And he has some very pretty slips at times. Looks like he has some very good defense. He has a solid body kick and his kicks are good from long range. But when he doesn't set them up, he can get countered with straight punches. Definitely saw that happen against Guan Long in his last fight, With all that being said, I think a lot of Caceres' movement is wasted movement because he crosses the distance to throw punches, not long with his punches, get caught coming in with shots, and comes on a lot of straight lines. Doesn't really come in off angles, but he uses a lot of angles just at range when he's not doing anything. So it's kind of just a lot of movement, just like foo-foo movement in my opinion. And, he has a very questionable chin. He's getting rocked a lot in recent fights. Took a ton of punishment against Guan Wang. He seems to get better as the fight goes on, though. He has great cardio. He will fight. He has good recoverability. Never quits. Definitely has that Bushido spirit. He has decent grappling, but he can be taken down against the cage. He has some submissions in his career, but I don't think he'll take Bravo down. Caceres is on the back nine, in my opinion. He's kind of slowing down. Had a lot of fights. I think Bravo's hungry. I think he's going to put it on Caceres, in my opinion. He's going to stay in his face, land hard shots, mix it up, get some takedowns, and win a very easy, clear-cut decision. And I'm going with Martin Bravo in that fight, and I think he's going to get it done there. And up next, we have Matt Besette against Steven Ocho Peterson in a fight that I really love. I'm really a big fan of Steven Peterson, and pretty solid fight. Has all the possibilities of being war. And Besette's a range striker, throws nice clean punches. He has a good jab, nice right hook. He'll throw the uppercut. Nice body kick, throw the front kick to the body. He'll throw some head kicks, tricky question mark kicks. Decent left hook, he switches stance as well. He will keep a lot of volume on you, walk you down, attacking the body. He has a nice flying knee, keeps a very deliberate striking pace. Isn't very fast or athletic, but he wears you down with volume. He can back you up against the cage if you pressure him. And his striking defense is only okay. He's good in the clinch offensively. He gets the tie clinch. He'll throw knees to the head. His defense in the clinch is questionable. He can get hit with big uppercuts and punches in the dirty boxing range. He doesn't go for takedowns much. And his takedowns aren't great, but he will attack with singles or body locks. He dives on leg locks, so it's a pretty tricky submission game. He has great cardio. He zaps you on the feet as the fight goes on. He has lost 2 in a row. Lets guys get inside, backs him up against the cage way too much. He got knocked out pretty badly against Kurt Holoba and was backed up, taken down against Barzola. He's going to want to stay at range, piece Peterson up from a distance with kicks, crisp punching combos to win. And for Steven Peterson, he's an action fighter. He's going to want to be right in Besette's face in this fight. In my opinion, this is a similar matchup to the fight he had on Dana White's Contender Series, which I actually thought he won. And he fought someone against Benito Lopez, someone with good kicks, dangerous, striking from the outside, very explosive, and actually, in my opinion, much better than Besette. And he was able to get inside, work shots, put him against the cage. And, I actually believe Brandon Davis is a better striker as well than Besette. And, Steven Peterson, he has great cardio. He's there to grind on you, takes shots, walks through them to get a hold of you, sticks you against the cage, starts to land hard shots. He likes to release the clinch and then unload with punches. And he can come clinch up against, again, to wear you out. Really just throw punches, clinch out, re-clinch, just do a lot of, just dirty boxing, just really putting it on you, keeping you against the cage, making you work. And he looks for doubles and singles against the cage. On top, he's busy, looking for submissions, heavy ground and pound. He likes to take the back. He has a very slick guillotine as well. He's great off his back. He'll attack with submissions such as omoplatas, kimuras, guillotines. He's a dog. Definitely believe he's going to get Besette to move backwards in this fight. And there's just something to say about guys like Peterson, Jason Knight, Diego Sanchez. Those guys are relentless pressure, pace, and, just that don't give a fuck attitude. They just overwhelm people. And I think he's just going to get in Besette's face, put him against the cage, dirty box, take him down, and just overall just beat his ass, man. And I think that he's going to just put it on him. I think that you're going to see Matt Besette quit a little bit, just break a little bit, and I'm going to say Steven Peterson wins a decision in that fight. And up next, you have a pretty fun fight here with a very good prospect with Oscar Piechota against Gerald Meerschaert. And, Oscar Piechota is a guy fighting out of Poland, and he's a very interesting prospect. He's well-rounded, and the fight very quickly on the feet or on the mat. He's a counter striker, good distance control, slowly backs up but stays in range to counter, catch you sleeper with land the straight right hand. Very fast, clean, accurate right hand. Big power on it as well. He has big power on his right hook, knock you out cold with it. Throws some decent kicks with his rear leg. He'll throw the round and front kicks to the body, Pretty solid high kick. He's finished guys with a high kick. He pulls fighters into shots, counters, and puts them to sleep, so it makes guys hesitant to close the distance on him. And he's a bit stiff, though, and I believe a very explosive athlete could maybe catch him on the feet. He has a good body lock takedown, very high-level black belt, great back takes. You saw that the way he jumped on Jonathan Wilson's back from standing position just very quickly, and a great passer from the back. He'll look for the rear naked choke, look for the arm bar, pass into mount. Good ground and pound, very hard to get up from bottom on. He'll look for arm triangles off his back, has great sweeps, goes for submissions. He's undefeated, has a good chin, great confidence going into this fight. He will slow down a bit as the fight goes on, though, but I wouldn't say there are major cardio issues. Meerschaert, he's a crafty veteran, southpaw, 36 fights, finisher. He's finished his last 10 wins. He has 19 submissions, but he has also been submitted 7 times. He's big and long for the division, but he won't have the reach advantage here against Piechota. He has nice straight left hand. He'll throw the 1-2, nice left body kick as well. Big power with the left kick. He folded Eric Spicely with it in his last fight. He'll swarm with hooks when he thinks you're hurt, has you trapped against the fence. He doesn't have huge power with his hands. He has good double legs, good body lock takedowns. Doesn't have great top control. People can get up from bottom on him. But he does have good rear naked chokes. He gets taken out pretty easily against the cage. It's Spicy at his back almost the whole round. Piechota is better on the feet and on the ground. I think he's going to catch Meerschaert coming in when he gets desperate for a takedown early in round 2 and get the knockout win here. And I'm going with Oscar Piechota. And if it's not the knockout, he's going to hurt him on the feet and then get a submission. I do think it's going to be a finish here for Oscar, and I think it's going to be a pretty good win for him here. And up next, we have Montana De La Rosa against Rachel Ostovich. You know, another pretty low-level fight, but it's an interesting fight, close fight on paper. Montana De La Rosa and Ostovich are coming off tough 26. Looking to keep momentum going with another win here. Montana De La Rosa is predominantly a wrestler. Stand-up is just not very good. She'll throw the jab or a straight right hand. She'll throw an occasional leg kick. She'll throw her punch combinations so she can close the distance, get the takedowns. She stands up very tall mid-combination sometimes, leave herself open and getting clipped. She's really just looking to get the fight to the ground or get in dominant positions on the ground and go to work. She has a pretty good top game. She'll float and control on top while looking for submissions. Landed a flying armbar in the last fight. She's decent in the clinch. Good control. She'll be able to hold you against the cage. You know, stall, waste time, land some okay knees, but she doesn't do that much damage in that position. She has good cardio. She can fight all 3 rounds. And, you know, she has heart. She kept coming forward even though her face was like a pool of blood against Nico Montano. And she's definitely fought the higher level competition. She's fought Nico Montano, Cynthia Calvillo, Mackenzie Dern, even though she has lost all those girls. And Rachel Ostovich is also primarily a grappler with even more limited striking arsenal. Ostovich has no long-range striking to really speak of. She throws a lot of kicks from the outside, waits for a moment to cross the distance, get a takedown. She'll throw an overhand right, then duck under, get a double leg. She's also good on top, has decent submissions. I would say Ostovich may even be better in the top position, but Montana is better off her back. I think the wrestling advantage will go to Montana in this fight. She's a 3-time All-American wrestler, and she should be able to put the, put the judo player on her back. You know, I think she's going to be able to out-grapple her. I watched, Rachel Ostovich's fight against Ariel Beck, and I actually thought Ariel Beck won that fight. She dominated her on the feet and really hurt her multiple times. And, Montana De La Rosa on the show is able to really dominate Ariel Beck in this grappling realm. So I just think that, she might just be a little bit ahead of Rachel Ostovich here in the grappling. So I'm going to go with Montana De La Rosa by decision in that fight. And, I do think it's a pretty good bet to bet the over 2.5 rounds. For that fight, I don't see that going under 2.5 rounds, to be honest with you. But, other than that, we're going to be moving on to Alessio De Chirico against Julian Marquez. And, this is a pretty fun fight. Any fight that Julian Marquez is going to be a part of is going to be a fun fight. He's a big middleweight who, is a KO artist. He announced his rival with the head kick knockout against Phil Hawes in the Dana White Contender Series. Also had a nasty finish of Darren Stewart recently with the nice guillotine. He's fast, athletic with his combinations for his size. Throws nice front kicks to the body. Comes with a straight left hand, short left hook. He has a good chin as well. Showed that in his wars with Chris Harris and Bellator and Darren Stewart most recently. He KO'd Phil Hawes, who had a lot of hype around him, and is an elite wrestler and a physical specimen. He showed good takedown defense in that fight. He was taken down, but he got back up, landed some huge shots, stayed calm, worked out of those bad positions, even attacked with a nice guillotine. He has a good 1-2 combination, big power in both hands, timed a perfect head kick against the cage, and, knocked Hawes out with that when he was letting him back up. And, he's great in the clinch, landing hard knees, nice elbows. He has poor defense himself. He can get hit there too, but focused with inflicting damage, always keeps the pace high, really has a great heart, grit, draws guys into wars, always the guy left standing usually. He's a dog. He will stay in the fire. See him just melt and break guys. Nice submissions. He has a good guillotine, nice Kimura. Impressive cardio, and his ability to recuperate and get a second win is very amazing. He's finished all 7 of his wins, never been finished. And Chirico is much athletic, more composed. He will keep the guard high, walk forward, and box. He has nice short shots, nice good right hook, good counter punches, nice body kicks. He's a little flat-footed and methodical. He's tried to work on that, get better at his footwork, but still a little stiff. But he has good takedowns, decent top control, nice ground and pound, nice clinch knees, good KO within his last fight against Bamboche. Tends to slow down, also can be complacent, letting you go first and countering. He's beaten 2 very low-level guys in the UFC. He's never been finished himself, but I think Marquez is going to break Alessio in this fight. I think that he's going to start backing Alessio up. I think Alessio's too complacent backing up against the cage. I think that Julian Marquez eventually is going to get him tired, find some big shots, and get the finish in that one. And I'm going to go with Julian Marquez by 3rd round finish there. And up next to the co-main event here, we have Barb Honchak against Roxanne Modafferi. And, pretty fun fight. This is a Legends fight, really, for women's MMA. And it's pretty cool that it's happening in the UFC. It's a rematch. Barb already won their first fight by submission in 2012. And, Honchak is a solid, well-rounded fighter. She's definitely getting older here. She's 38 now. But, she was able to get in the groove of things after having a long layoff with, some pretty, I think, 3 or 4 fights right around in a row there in about 6 months. And she's solid in the stand-up, has a nice jab, nice right hand. Great job getting her head off center line after she throws punches. Good hand speed, accurate with her punches. Nice high guard, does a good job deflecting, parrying punches on the feet. Good movement, quick and light on her feet. Throws solid leg kicks. She likes to get in the clinch, work knees and elbows in the clinch. Throws nice knees to the body and uses good elbows on the break. She'll rack up control time in the clinch against the cage if she can. She needs to work on getting physically stronger because she's gotten out muscle in the clinch in her last 2 fights. She has good body lock takedowns, good double legs too. On top, she's very active, hard ground and pound. She has very heavy elbows and punches. You saw that versus Jillian Robertson. She's able to get a rear naked choke against Roxanne in their last fight, but is more known for being a decision fighter. She can get taken down herself, but she has great get-ups. She's hard to hold down. She was held down in round 3 against Lauren Murphy, and but she was able to attack with a triangle and an armbar. Didn't take much damage at all, and they were pretty tight. And she never been finished. Comes in great shape, with a lot of heart and will to win. She lost her last fight to Lauren Murphy, but I thought she won that fight, to be honest. And Roxanne Modafferi is much improved since her last time on Tough and the last time that her and Barb fought. But this iteration of her is probably the best she's going to get, in my opinion. She's still awkward on the feet, isn't very athletic, and stiff movement. She's gotten better at accentuating her reach, trying to make her punches long instead of loopy. She'll throw straight punches and sometimes struggles to find range, throws it air, but doesn't have that same loopy style she used to. She's okay hand speed. She can't land that straight right hand. She'll throw those inside leg kicks, high kicks. She'll try to be tricky. She'll throw question mark kicks, spinning back fist. She tries to keep volume high, throw a lot of shots, kind of pot shot you from the outside. She doesn't have great takedown defense, but she is good off her back. She has good arm bars, triangles. She's very active off her back. She can get hit with ground and pound elbows, though. She has gotten better at entries for her judo trip takedowns, clinch takedowns. Definitely gotten better in the scrambles. She can get bullied in the clinch. She was controlled there against Emily Whitmire for a short period. Controlled against Nico Montano in the clinch. taken out multiple times by Sijara Eubanks. She is good in scrambles, and if she gets on top, she'll land hard, heavy elbows. Definitely goes for the finish. She has a good rear naked choker and armbar. She slows down and the fight goes on, but she has decent cardio. Definitely improved in that area. She has finished her last 4 wins, and her last 3 losses have all been by decision. So I just think Barb is a better fighter and has good movement on the feet. She's more cleaner with her technique, and I think she's going to have a strength advantage here. And I think she's going to coast, man. I think she's going to win an easy decision. And, this is probably my most confident pick of the night there, Barb Honchak. And then next year, Israel Adesanya against Brad Tavares. This is a hell of a fight, man. When I initially saw this fight, I was thinking maybe Israel Adesanya. But after watching the tape, man, honestly, I got to go with Brad Tavares in this matchup. And the reason why, I think Israel Adesanya is very good. I'm a big fan of him. I've been watching him for a long time, even before he transitioned to MMA. Very good at switching stances. Very tricky striking game. Has very nice kicks. Very good distance control. Very nice straight punches. Just very good hand speed. But against Marvin Vettori, you saw that he was getting hit with that second or third punch in a combination, and he was getting hit with straight punches. And I just didn't think that he was doing the greatest job of not letting Vettori close the distance. I thought he let Vettori get inside way too easily. I think that Israel is, going to get a lot better, but I think right now he's way too complacent with, being second, not going first, not keeping a high volume. I think if he walks Tavares down, kept a high volume, kept a high pace, threw a lot of punches, kept Tavares moving backwards, didn't let him get inside, walked him down, threw a lot of fakes, threw a lot of feints, and I think he could win the matchup. But, I haven't seen that. I think that Tavares is just very professional. He's a great fighter. He's someone that, never is going to get out of his game plan, never is going to do anything crazy. Has that great straight right hand, the great jab, great leg kicks, always has that high guard, nice switch high kick, stays very composed, great cardio, very good wrestler, man. He's an underrated wrestler in my opinion. Good in the clinch. You see him get that underhook, has great head control, really can control guys, gets a clinch, land those knees. You saw against Elias Theodoro, he was landing that standing switch, taking the back. He was taking the back against Lorenz Larkin as well, landing some multiple single legs against Lorenz Larkin. And that's a similar match in my opinion here with Israel. I think Lorenz is actually a little bit quicker with his hand speed. And I've actually seen Brad Tavares, doing a lot of grappling in his pre-fight, in his camp. I've seen him working with Saeed Nurmagomedov, who's a very elite level wrestler. And I've seen Israel Adesanya say some things that I just don't really like Marvin Vettori's harder fight for him, or easier matchup for him than Brad Tavares. Tavares is going to be an easier fight. And I think that's just very disrespectful to Brad Tavares. I think that he's going to be in for a rude awakening if he thinks that Tavares is wrestling, Tavares' pace, the pressure that he's going to put on him. I think Tavares is going to get inside. I think Tavares is going to be able to land straight punches when Israel's moving back and maybe even hurt Israel. And I think he's really going to surprise him, man. I think he's going to put him in those clinch positions. And, I'm not here to say that Israel can't win. It's a very close fight on paper. Would not be surprised if Israel won the fight. But I'm going with Brad Tavares, and I think he has a lot of avenues to win here. I think if it's a decision, then Brad Tavares is going to win all day, man. I think that Israel needs to finish to win the fight. And, I think he's definitely the more likely guy to get the finish. This is a 5-round fight. You have to keep in mind about that. Brad Tavares has fought over 10 times in the company. Neither guy has fought 5 rounds, but I do think I think Israel has fought 5 rounds in other organizations. But, I think Brad Tavares is someone that I would trust more in the later rounds. And, his last fight for Israel was the first fight that's ever been a decision. And, he just doesn't have that high-level experience yet. I think it's really good top-level guys. I think it's going to come for him. I think he's a very high-level athlete. And if he does win here, he looks very impressive. Maybe I'll be looking like an idiot, man, and have to jump back on the Israel bandwagon. But I'm going with Brad Tavares here. I think he's going to win by decision. I think it's going to be 4-1, 3-2. I think he's kind of going to take over late, make it a pretty convincing decision. And, I like a couple spots here. I do think that, Barb Honchak should win here, and the line is pretty good actually. And I do think that Martin Bravo should definitely get the win as an underdog as well. I think Luis Pena should get the win, and as well as Oscar Piechota. So I think those 4 guys are, all could pretty much get the win. I think they're not locks, but they're. I think that it's pretty safe that they're going to win, in my opinion. I'm pretty confident in that. And also Julian Marquez, I'm not as confident as those 4, but I think he'll win as well. And for the parlay of the week, guys, I would say Oscar Piechota and Barb Honchak. Another parlay that you guys could use would potentially be dog money as well. Could be Martin Bravo and Barb Honchak. Something like that. You could just do Martin Bravo straight. I do think Steven Peterson is a dog as well. That's a very close fight, but if you want to take the risk on Ocho Peterson there, I do think that, it's pretty likely that Luis Pena will win inside the distance. I do think that John Gunther, if he wins, it'll be a decision. Or, actually, I could see a submission there, so maybe not say that, but overall, I think this is a good card. It's a nice little foray into Saturday. So, hope you guys are all watching the card, and hope you guys watch this breakdown. And if there's any other fights that get added, I think there probably will be. I'll jump back on here, do a short little video for those fights. And, people people wanted me to do, see if I could find them, parlays over the 2 cards. And, I think that, in your iterations, I think that Oscar Piechota and Gokhan Saki could potentially be a good parlay, something like that. I think that, let me see here, Bob Hanchek and Gokhan Saki. I think, if you parlay the most confident picks on the both cards that I have. I think that maybe, if you want to do maybe like a longer, extended parlay, try to maybe like have just a little bit of fun, maybe like a degenerate parlay. I don't know. Maybe you could do something a little bit longer, put all 4 guys together. Who knows? I do think that Rafael Sudsal should win. I think that Lando Venata should win. So, there are just a few things for you guys to keep a look at, really think about, and we should have a good week. I think that next week is going to be really good as well. UFC Boise, I'm already looking at a few matchups in that card, and I really like that card betting-wise. And hopefully we can keep it rolling, man. Make it 8 and 9 straight for the parlay of the week, and then 10 for next week. So keep rolling with me. Keep watching. Keep commenting. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And, like I said, thanks for watching.